Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So first things first, if you have a look at the oscillators, we are flat lining at the bottom at the moment, and that is an indication that we are extremely oversold, and that is on the 8-hour time frame right now. We are also quite far from the moving averages at the moment. You can see we are going parabolic, should I rather say. So in other words, you start drawing your lines and you can see how the angle just gets steeper and steeper and steeper and steeper to the downside. So that is always a worry for me when I start seeing this kind of price action. It starts to indicate to me that we are coming close to a bottom of sorts. I won't say a bottom of what's going on at the moment, but definitely a bottom within this trend. So you would expect some kind of a bounce to start showing itself shortly. We've had some pretty big breakouts, and I just want to get to the weekly. We've broken through some pretty big levels on the weekly, so this is a key one at the moment that we are through, and that is at 36.82. The week's not over yet, so anything could happen, but if you look to the left, that is a key level that we have broken through, and we're also dropping below the previous swing low. And we do have some magnets to the downside still. There is a gap. I'm not going to put all the levels in, but there's definitely a gap. There's this swing high that we are just short of now, and then inside of it is another one. I think let's just put that one in as well. So we'll look at those levels now in the lower time frames. But for all intents and purposes, trend is down. You should be looking to short. I am uncomfortable shorting down at the bottom. I want to be shorting up somewhere higher, and I've been saying it all week and it hasn't played out, but that bit of structure there, which is 3800 or 3833, is definitely an option. And then you have, let's get to the lower time frames, and you'll see the next step as well. We have this area here, which is also 3750. So 3750, 3800 area, those is kind of where I would feel a lot more comfortable shorting. When we start this kind of price action, you can see up and down, big confusion. Look at the diversions brewing here. Prices falling, oscillators rising. Always an indication that you need to be careful. So trend is down. Granted, we need to be short, but I don't want to be short down here. I'd rather be short off a decent bit of structure. And when we start drilling down into the time frames, you'll see the structure starting to show itself. And now there is a level that we do need to take into consideration, and that is the low of, what was this? This was Monday, Tuesday. So this is Friday, so the low of Friday, the low of Monday. You see it forms some form of a double bottom or bottom of range. But that is something you need to pay attention to. And if you have your eagle eyes on this morning, you'll notice that we are following a trend line over the last 2 days as well. Okay, so not an area I want to be short. If we get back to the 15-minute, this level here, which we were above it, we defended it going into the close. Now the Asian session has brought us down. So I'm not really keen on this 36.44. I'm more interested in this one here at 36.82. If we can get back into that area for a half decent opportunity or rejection, there may be a little short scalp there. But what I'm seeing at the moment, especially with yesterday's price action, you can see how we battled for quite a while trying to stay above this level of 36.82. Before falling down. We did have a magnet down there being a gap, so always high probability of that closing. But ultimately, we started forming a flag, and then we've broken down again today. So there is still merit for this to just meander down until 35.90. I still think that's on the cards, but definitely don't want to be jumping in down here on it. I'd rather be picking one of the levels. So this would get me with a short scalp, that's for sure. So that would be 36.44. And the thing is, you be in this level, and you've got a stop of 225 points. So I'd have a stop above the swing highs of yesterday. But this I would only play at the US Open. Not really interested in doing this during the European Open. Any swing higher during the European Open and then going late into the European session before the US Open, that would definitely get me putting an early entry in, and that would be at 36.82. So for me at the moment, this is a sit on hand until we get a retest of one of these two areas, and that's on the 15 minute. And bear in mind it's on the 15 minutes, so it's really going to be in and out probably within 1 or 2 hours. That's about all you're going to get out of this. Do not like the way things are looking at the moment. So it's looking really, really tired. So I would be very reluctant to continue chasing shorts at the moment. Obviously, we're going to go with a trend, but based on where we are at the moment, I'd much prefer sort of a higher rejection off one of the moving averages higher up, rather than jumping in at the end of a move. So that's kind of my view this morning. It's a very cautious one, and whatever time frame you're trading, I would not recommend anything less than 15 minutes. You can see on the 5 minute here breaks and retests that were kind of in there, which would have given you a little bit of an edge. So I would expect pretty much the same thing today. Watch these levels on the 15 minutes, and you can see on the 5 minute there are micro levels on the way up as well. There's one right there which we didn't really test this morning. We were aiming for it, but we didn't test, so that's also still in play. Anyway, guys, that's kind of the view that we've got at the moment. I think be very careful. Don't just jump in for the sake of jumping in. It's not worth it. Get your levels in. Keep it in the back of your mind that you've got some big weekly levels just below you here, and you're actually in amongst some really big levels. If you go to like a 3 hour, 4 hour, even an 8 hour chart, and just scroll left as far as you can and start seeing where the structure is there, you'll see there are a number of levels in this area, and you can see it by how messy my chart is at the moment. So be careful. I think that's the message for today. I will still be short, but it'll be short scalps and off the levels I've given you. That's kind of my play for today. Looking for 100 points minimum. That should pay the bills. Anyway, hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.